the director of EU Research Center over at Ankara's Yildirim Beyazit University. Giray Sadik joins me now from the Turkish capital. Good to have you on the show, Giray. Let's start off with the refugee deal, because clearly it needs a revision. When it was announced back in 2016, it seemed like it was a win-win situation for both sides. But right now, we've come to a point where almost it seems that the EU is almost endorsing Greece's blatant violation of human rights. How do we get a better deal for everybody?
Well, that is important, and I think reciprocity is key here in international politics. You know the saying, it takes two to tango. That is important in terms of Turkey doing its own share, but also on the other side, EU needs to do its own share, including supporting its members and, when necessary, controlling or taking care of its members' human rights violations when it comes to Greek pushbacks in the Aegean Sea or violations of international law in the Eastern Mediterranean.
Is this a problem that can be solved with more money thrown at it?
Certainly not, and that's band-aid solutions when it comes to refugee deals, so-called, the fifth year this year, and there is a general consensus on both sides that they need each other, and some additional ways need to be worked out. So far, we lived up to that promise, or that premise is not holding, regardless financially, socially, economically, and politically. It is not sustainable. So that is what is at the core of Turkey's expectations from the EU. It's not simply the EU aid to Syrian refugees, but it's also about the role of the EU in terms of enabling the safe return of refugees, and also preventing pushbacks from Greece and other EU countries, and hosting their fair share in that burden.
Another leg in the relaunching of relations between Turkey and the European Union is trade. The customs union between the two is, I believe, 25 years old. Is it being seen as insufficient, and why?
First of all, Turkey remains the customs union member without membership for those period, being the longest one on the line. And that in itself is unfair. And secondly, the customs union, it's mostly on industrial products, which European countries have advantage over Turkey, and therefore economically, not only Turkey as a state, but in terms of business people and population, suffers significantly from that deal. And therefore that needs to be updated again to be more balanced, to be more reciprocal, and therefore to be sustainable, so that it can actually contribute to Turkish-EU cooperation rather than being viewed as a hurdle.
All right. Giray Sadik, live for us from Ankara. Thank you very much for coming on the show. I do appreciate your analysis.